Boker Tov, everybody. So I want to talk for a moment about this week's portion, Vayeshev. And we see here the narrative now focuses, instead of on Jacob, on his sons. And I think I've mentioned before that I really do consider a lot of the story, a lot of stories in the Torah, they really do feel like a soap opera. It's a very dramatic moment here as we see the bitter rivalry between Joseph and his older brothers. And it's interesting, actually, that Jacob plays the favoritism game when you see how poorly that worked out for him when it was him pitted against his brother by their parents. But he's doing the same sort of the same thing, and he shows quite a lot of favor to his at that point youngest son Joseph. And we see that Joseph has these sort of prophetic dreams, right? So he dreams of 11 sheaves of wheat bowing to his sheaf of wheat, and 11 stars bowing to his star. And he tells his brothers about these dreams, and very clearly interprets them as meaning that his brothers will bow down to him. They obviously don't take that well, even after, especially after Joseph was given this beautiful, colorful coat by their father, and just shown all this favoritism. And so this really is the catalyst for them turning against him, throwing him in the pit, selling him into slavery. I want to point out that I think we do learn a pretty important lesson. I think it's a lesson that many of us had drilled into us as children. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, right? I think a lot of us learned that as kids. Now, here we have Joseph, and he has these dreams, right? I mean, he's pretty young, so maybe he hasn't learned this lesson yet. But he knows that these are true dreams, right? He has this connection, this line of connection open to the divine, and he knows how to interpret dreams, and he knows the dream. So even if it's true, that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be said, right? Because maybe he's just not aware of how hurt his brothers are by their father's favoritism for him. But I mean, clearly he's shown this lesson in a very harsh way. Obviously, there's a certain amount of fate to this story, because we know he needs to be in Egypt in order for them to survive the famine that comes later, right? But certainly it really demonstrates this lesson in a very poignant way, because even if something is true, if it can be hurtful, that doesn't always bear saying it, or perhaps finding a way to express it that isn't hurtful to somebody else, even if it is the truth. I think that's a very important lesson for us to learn as we move